And I had been telling her all along that, you know, don't do this for me, do it for yourself.
He wanted this as much as I did.
I loved her the way she was. She didn't have to do that for me.
The police officer paid for his lover's breast enlargement. Now they've split. He wants payback.
Your theory of defense is that it's a gift. Is that right?
Yeah.
You picked the wrong one.
But first,
Would you tell your mother if you took the bank card?
If I had taken it, yes, I would have told her.
You're 19 years old. You have no education. Now, you can flounder through life, but you sound like you're an intelligent young man who's going nowhere.
Yes, it is.
Because you claim that your son stole your bank card and withdrew money.
Yes.
So I must assume that you've had some frustrations with him in the past to even suggest that he would do such a thing to you. And after thinking that he would do such a thing, sue him for the money. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Especially since, according to this, you don't have any direct proof that he took the money.
I have no direct proof, no eyewitness.
Well, why don't you tell me why you believe he took this money first?
I had the card on during the day on Christmas Eve. When I came into my house, I didn't put the card in my wallet. I set it on the counter in my kitchen. I live alone. My parents came over to visit that evening. They were the only other people in that house.
Was your son living with you or was he visiting?
No, he came over to visit while my parents were still there. The area of the kitchen countertop where I put that card is right near my cordless phone. During the visit, Brian took the cordless phone and went to the back of my mobile home. He went into the bathroom, he said, to use the phone because it was too noisy out in the living room. Shortly after the conversation on the phone, Brian put on the new winter coat that my mom and dad and I had bought him for Christmas, and he left. My other daughter, Amy, and her son came over to visit after Brian had left. So the only people in my house all day long, up until the point the card disappeared, were my parents, Brian, and myself.
Well, when did you first notice the card missing?
I had gone into my purse looking for the card a few days later, but...
So that your daughter did come over?
Yes.
Your daughter and who else?
Her son. He's 2.5.
Well, he didn't take the bank cards. But your daughter did come over?
Yes, she did.
And you didn't notice the bank card missing until after your daughter left?
Right. It was several days later.
Nobody else was in and out of your house between Christmas Day and the day that you finally discovered the bank card missing?
No one else.
How much money was withdrawn?
$470.
Now, where was the PIN number?
That took me a little time to figure out how that all happened. But several weeks before Christmas Eve, Brian was over visiting, and my other daughter was there, and the little boy again. And Brian brought up in the conversation, I think when I get my income tax check, I'm going to open a checking account. He started the conversation about PIN numbers. And does the bank assign one, or how do you do that? And my daughter blurted out what hers was in reference to it being the birthday of a relative. And I did the same.
Well, when you realized your bank card was missing, what did you do?
I thought I had left it in the house because my last memory of the bank card was setting it on that counter in the kitchen. So I went to the bank and cashed a check. Several days after that, one of my colleagues had come in to my office from one of our out-of-town locations, and I was going to take her to dinner. My daughter came to my office at my request. I wrote her out a check and said, please run to the bank and cash this check. I need money for dinner tonight. She came back from the bank as white as a ghost and said, Mom, you've got a problem. There's no money in your account. I called the bank to find out what the problem was, and they started to read me off withdrawal, $50 on Christmas Eve, $20 on December 29th.
Do you have a listing of those?
Yes, I do.
Let me take a look at it. And in total, it was $470?
Yes, plus accumulated bank fees.
Brian, how old are you?
19.
How long haven't you been living at home?
I lived there on and off. I've probably been out of there 3 years.
You know anything about this bank card?
No, I don't. The first I heard about it was after I'd moved out of state. And it wasn't told directly to me, it was told to my sister. She told me about it, and the first thing I heard about it after that was being called, telling me that there was a lawsuit against me.
Is this the other daughter that you were talking about?
No, this is my oldest daughter. She lives in Louisiana.
Would you tell your mother if you took the bank card?
If I had taken it, yes, I would have told her. I didn't take the card. I had no reason to take it. As far as the conversation with the PIN numbers and anything, I don't recall any of that.
Where's your younger daughter?
She's at home. I didn't think her testimony was going to be at all pertinent because she really didn't eyewitness anything.
All right, so my next question, Mrs. Woods, is, now I understand your lawsuit. My question to you is, what do you hope to accomplish from this lawsuit?
I want him to own up to his responsibility. I want him to understand that living off of other people or lying to people or stealing from people is not the way to live your life. And if you've done something wrong, be a man. Stand up for it. Take the responsibility and accept the consequences.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It hurts that I would be accused of stealing the card. I did not take the card. I have no use for your money.
And later today,
She had expressed the desire to have breast implants done. I loved her the way she was. She didn't have to do that for me.
He wanted this as much as I did. Why should I pay him back?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Elizabeth Woods says her son, Brian LaBelle, stole her bank card and tricked her into giving him the PIN code.
Who do you think took her bank card and had her PIN number?
I really have no idea.
Well, it was you or your sister. That's what it comes down to, right?
Okay, well,
Unless it was your grandparents. I'm going to eliminate the grandparents. But the truth of the matter is, Miss Woods, it could have been either Brian or his sister, because both of them were in your house prior to the time that you found the bank card missing. You choose to believe, for whatever reason, that Brian was the one who took it because of his history, lifestyle, whatever, his need for money.
I also believe that he took it because of his spending shortly before he left for Louisiana, he left for Louisiana on the 3rd of January, which was the exact day that $250 was withdrawn from my checking account. I have been told by Brian's friends, and you know, whether it's admissible or not.
It isn't.
Okay.
That he spent a lot of money.
Not a lot of money, but for someone who isn't working, was evicted from his apartment for non-payment of rent, had his car impounded by the city, you know, $10 is a lot of money.
Brian, you're 19. That's not entirely cooked and ready for adult life, but it seems to me you're living on your own. What do you want to do with yourself?
Did
you graduate from high school?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
I had a lot of problems in school.
What kind of problems?
I lost a lot of interest. I mean, it happens sometimes. I had problems with other kids in school. I had problems with teachers in school. And my mistake was I left school. I didn't go back.
So what do you want to do with yourself?
You know, I've been keeping myself straight other than this, and, you know, I've worked for what I have. I don't have much.
That's not an answer to my question, Brian. It's really not an answer to my question. You're 19 years old, you have no education, but you're living on your own. Now, you can flounder through life, but you look like an intelligent, and you sound like you're an intelligent young man who's going nowhere. I think probably that's your mother's frustration. You know, that she's just sad because you seem to be without direction. You are without direction, you know. I mean, just living hand to mouth, you know, getting a job, getting a meaningless job when you're 19 and sticking with it means that you're going to spend 40 years of your life or more doing something that you're not particularly fond of. You won't make a living. You know, you sort of aimlessly wander through life. What do you want to do?
I like to be able to afford everything I need. I like the line of work I do. When I do...
What kind of work do you do?
I worked as a construction laborer and a laborer in a pallet yard.
But you don't do it all the time?
No.
Why not?
I was laid off from my last job due to transportation problems. I missed a lot of work. I was in the process of buying a car because the car I was driving at the time wasn't reliable. like I said, I missed a lot of time off of work from that, and they saw it as not needing me around because they wanted somebody who was going to be there all the time. Other than that, you know, I mean, I've held a job pretty well.
Brian, either you took this card or your sister took it. So you think your sister took it?
I know I didn't take it. I don't want to accuse her of taking it because I know there are other people in and out of her house, whether she says there are or not.
People could have taken the card, but nobody else had the PIN number, which would have given them access to the money.
I didn't have the PIN number either.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I still love you. I want you to get your act together. You can't go through life like this.
And later today,
After this motorcycle rally, she had expressed the desire to have breast implants done because there's a lot of skin that's shown up there in Sturgis.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Elizabeth Woods says her son, Brian LaBelle, stole her bank card and tricked her into giving him the PIN code.
Mrs. Woods, as I said to you when we started, it's a sad situation when a parent brings a child to court, sues a child, especially a 19-year-old child, because they're hardly cooked. I mean, whatever frustrations you've had with him, and I assume even based upon what he says, you've had some frustrations with him for a long time. But this is still a court, and a court has to deal with evidence and proof. Right now, we have a situation where your credit card was missing, but there were at least 4 people who were in your home who had access to that card when you left it on the kitchen counter. You had your parents, you had Brian, and you had your younger daughter. And but for the fact that he's perhaps spent a couple of dollars during the Christmas holiday, there really is no proof that Brian, as opposed to the other people who had access to that card and access to your home, were the ones who took it. So a court can't operate under supposition. That is unfair. You understand that? So I am forced to dismiss your lawsuit against your son. Brian, I don't know whether you took this card or not. There is insufficient proof that you did. But you look like a nice young person. And you certainly are intelligent. I don't think that you are optimally using all the gifts that God gave you. Do you?
No.
So you better start, because as I said to you before, life is not a dress rehearsal. You only go around once. Okay? That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Back, go to your right.
I am very disappointed. I still love my son very much.
It hurts that I would be accused of stealing the card. I did not take the card. I have no use for your money. If this is the way that you feel about me, then fine, that be it.
I still love you. I want you to get your act together. You can't go through life like this. You got away with it this time, but the next time you might not be so lucky.
There was nothing to get away with.
And now the next case.
Parties on Donahue versus Pratt. Step forward, please.
38-year-old police officer Mark Donahue is suing his ex-girlfriend, exotic dancer Cynthia Pratt, 30, for not repaying a loan for her breast implants.
Mr. Donahue, according to your complaint, sir, you made a loan to the defendant in order for her to have breast augmentation surgery. You gave her $2,350.
Yes, Your Honor.
You broke up, she won't pay you back.
That's correct.
Okay, so why don't you tell me how this loan came about, sir?
Well, Cindy and I started dating in January 1996 and up until November 1997. In August of 1996, we went to Sturgis, South Dakota. It's a motorcycle rally annual event that happens there. And after this motorcycle rally, she had expressed the desire to have breast implants done because there's a lot of skin that's shown up there in Sturgis.
We talked about it before.
So we had discussed it up until, well, the beginning of 1997, she decided that she was going to go ahead and go through with it, and she had told me that she was not going to go to Sturgis in 1997, that the following August, if she didn't have it done. She made an appointment for the surgery. The date was set. She was working at the time, and she had the funding arranged. She was working for a mortgage company and had several loans that she was going to close, so she had the funding arranged for it. And I had been telling her all along that, you know, don't do this for me, do it for yourself. If, you know, I loved her the way she was. So the day of the surgery came, and she had not had the funding because her loans had fallen through that she was going to close. But we had talked about me loaning her the money, and that I would only be able to loan her half the money, and she would be able to provide the other half. So we went to my credit union, and I withdrew $2,350 to make up for the in addition to the $1,650 that she had to make.
So she had enough?
$4,000, yes.
Okay.
And so after I withdrew the checks, I had her sign a promissory note that was notarized at the credit union.
Can I see it, please?
Yes, you may.
Okay. Surgery was done. You broke up several months later.
Yes.
Were any payments made whatsoever within the 2 months that this promissory note indicates the balance was to be fully paid?
None whatsoever.
Okay.
Yes, there was.
She had made reference that periodically she would say, well, I need to pay you back. I know I owe you that money, but I don't have it. But I never saw a dime of it. I've not seen one cent of that
Mark, yes, you
money.
did.
Shh, Miss Pratt, don't talk to him. Are you finished now, sir?
Yes.
Good. I'll hear you.
My very first check that I had got with my first loan that closed, I did sign it
Don't
over.
go talk to him.
I
Talk to
signed
me.
it over to him.
And how
which
much was that for?
I don't even remember. It was a long time ago. I don't even remember.
Your Honor,
It
she
was-
never...
Shh. You would know if you gave him any money. This wasn't so long ago. It was less than a year ago.
Correct, but I did sign over a check to him. I believe it was only a couple $100s. I really don't remember how much the amount was.
All right, so assuming that that's true, assuming that you got a check and you signed it over to him for a couple of $100. This note says that it's to be paid within 2 months. Now, I read your answer. I don't know what your defense is. You want to tell me what your defense is?
Mark knew that I wasn't going to be able to pay him back. After my job had changed and my commission had turned into a salary, he knew that I couldn't afford it. I was stressing on by just making ends meet. And I told Mark, I said, you know, I'm never going to be able to pay you back. And he said, I know. And it never came up again. We never discussed it. Nothing. It was never brought up again of me paying him back. So I just assumed that I didn't need to pay him back. Why should I pay him back? He knew that he wanted this as much as I did.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You have to decide what your theory of defense is, Miss Pratt. Okay? Theory of defense. Does that ring a note to you? Mm-hmm. Either you owed him the money because you agreed that it was a loan, or you don't owe him the money because he wanted you to have the surgery as much as you did, and it was a gift. Now, which is your theory of defense?
I'd say it was a gift. I never asked for the money.
Okay, that's your theory. So your
I
theory
never-
of defense, just want to understand this. And Bird wants to understand this.
I do.
Your theory of defense is that it's a gift. Is that right?
Yeah.
You picked the wrong one. Because if your theory of defense is, madam, that it's a gift, then you don't sign a promissory note. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,350. That's all.
Thank you,
Sir,
Your Honor.
excuse you, may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
He got what he lent me. That's fine, but I feel like it was mostly his idea.
I loaned her the money. She signed a note saying I loaned her the money, and she failed to pay me back. And I don't think she had any choice.
No, wait a minute. Now, stop.
that's
I've had enough of
the
this. Wait a minute.
piece-
Hey, listen,
No. Wait a second, please.
Hey.
Don't. Hey,
No,
Jay!
When she didn't answer the doorbell, the real estate agent broke into her house.
And the locksmith did what?
Pick the locks.
Okay. How many locks did the locksmith pick?
2.
And then the police reside in an apartment in a building that's going to be sold.
Was.
Was sold.
No, was going to be.
Was going to be sold. And according to your complaint, you're home one day, ill from work.
No, I'm disabled, actually.
You were home.
Yes, I was.
And the defendant broke into your apartment.
That's correct.
I didn't break into nobody's apartment.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
That I said according to her complaint,
Right.
Mr. Woodcock.
Okay,
That's
that's
what
fine.
happened. You're going to tell me your version of the events,
Right.
sir. So since you knew that this building was going to be sold, I assume that you had made arrangements with regard to showing your apartment, correct?
Yes, in the past it was done regularly.
Tell me
several
about
times.
the procedure.
The procedure was, it was multiple listings, and the realtor would telephone, send notice by mail, and speak with my husband in general, make arrangements for a specific day and time that was convenient for both of us, and we would make our home available for showing.
And during what period of time, Ms. Intreri, did you show your apartment?
This was over a period of probably about 4 months.
And how many times did you actually make yourself available to show the apartment?
I know of at least 4 times that individuals came in and viewed the flat.
Now, when did this occur, this instance with Mr. Woodcock?
Well, on May 13th, I was home. I suffered from severe arthritis from an auto accident, and I was home convalescing. It was in the afternoon. I was home in my bedclothes, and the doorbell rang. Well, I wasn't expecting company. I live in the Haight-Ashbury district, and unless you're expecting someone, basically you don't answer your door. For that reason, we have a gate in the front of our building, as most
Mr.
people
Woodcock,
do.
you may want to listen to this, sir.
As most
listening.
people do in the neighborhood. About 5-10 minutes later, the doorbell rang again, except it rang urgently. And so I got up, I went to my window. We live in a Victorian flat, so this is quite a distance from the back to the front. And I look out the window, I see no one I recognize, and I see...
How many people did you see?
I saw 2 people.
Okay.
And an old vehicle. And again, I did not answer because I don't know who this is. I'm home alone. Thereafter, I hear what appears to be someone dismantling my front door. And shaken, upset, I phone 911. And I speak with the 911 operator, tell her that it sounds like someone is breaking into my home. And she holds me on the line, and it gets to the point where it sounds like someone's kicking the door in. By this time, I am shaking like a leaf, trying to figure out, should I run? Should I try to defend myself? What exactly to do? Thereafter, the 911 operator informs me that it is safe to go downstairs. We have about 30 stairs, and because the police had arrived. When I get downstairs, again in my bedclothes, I find the police along with Mr. Woodcock, who I didn't know from Adam at the time, because my husband generally would show the house.
Okay, you didn't know him. The police were there.
And Mr. Woodcock asked me boldly, why didn't you open your door?
Right.
Shh, shh.
I ignore him because this is just ridiculous. I'm actually irate.
Describe your front door.
I have pictures, Your Honor.
Can I see it, please?
and this is what was broken into. First the gate, then the door, then the chain was kicked off.
No, that's not. No, wait a minute. Now,
And
stop.
that's
I've had enough of
the
this. Wait a minute.
piece-
Hey,
No,
listen,
no, no,
Miss-
no, no, no. Wait a second, please.
Hey.
Don't. Hey,
No, I'm
Jay!
okay, all right. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Your Honor, I wasn't even positive that they had completely entered until I found that piece of chain that was part of the,
Okay.
chain on the floor.
okay. And that's what happened that day,
That's
correct?
what happened, except that it left me shaking, like a leaf, crying. I had to call my physician for medication to calm down. It went downhill after that into ulcers because he continued to harass myself and my family.
Okay. Now, my question to you is, had either you or your husband received notice in writing that someone was going to be showing your apartment on May 13th?
I'm glad you asked me that question. We received notice for the 14th,
Can I see it,
the
please?
following day.
Can I see it, please?
No one showed up on that day.
So to answer my question, madam, you received no notice that someone was going to be there the 13th. The notice that you received, which is dated May 12th, indicates that someone would be there on Wednesday, May 14th.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, Your Honor, I'd like to step in because we had an arrangement because it was
Who are
kind of
you?
rough. I'm Mrs. Intruri's husband.
Okay.
We had an arrangement with the realty company because it kind of got off to a shaky start, showing the property, and so we had an arrangement. They would call, and they would let us know.
What you're telling me is not necessarily important to this right
in
now.
advance.
Sure. Shh, shh, shh.
Okay.
Listen to me.
Sure.
Your wife was very articulate. She explained that to me.
Okay.
She said they would call and write.
Okay.
Got to pay attention to your wife.
All right.
They're
You
usually
shouldn't-
very smart, sir.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Miss Intruri,
And my husband
Miss
knows.
Intruri, I'm very smart. They don't keep me here because I'm gorgeous.
And I'm not saying it ruined you.
I'm very smart.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Stephanie Intrieri is suing real estate agent Paul Woodcock for breaking into her home unannounced, leaving her frightened and in tears.
Now I'll hear you, Mr. Woodcock.
I didn't think it ever was going to come.
Sir, let me explain something to you. Have I been respectful to you?
Yes?
I will continue to be respectful to
Well-
you. You have to know where you are. Now,
it.
let's start over again. Like you just came in and like I don't know who you are. Would you like Mr. Woodcock to tell me your version of the events?
Yes.
Good.
I have documentation for everything.
Just tell me.
Well, I had an appointment set for the date that we came out to the building.
Okay, let me stop you there. How did you set up that appointment, sir?
I had my secretary call over there, and then I also had it sent
That's a
over
lie.
by letter, by mail. And I
Just
have
a second.
Yes.
Let
Go
me
ahead.
see your letter by mail.
Here. I had several. Yeah, these right here are fine. There's like 5 or 6 of them right in here. Oh, this is.
They had not called, and we did not
If
receive
you,
that letter.
if you shout out again, I'm going to put you outside. Do you understand? Is it? Well, let me explain something to you, sir. Let me stop you right there. There is a letter dated May 12th, which is clearly under your signature. And it indicates that the property would be inspected on May 14th. Okay, that is a letter dated May 12th.
Right.
Now, there is a prior letter dated May the 6th,
Right.
where you indicate that the property would be shown on Tuesday, May 13th. But the subsequent letter of May 12th indicates a day later, Wednesday, May 14th. Okay. And I have the original with your original signature, a copy of which is contained in your file. Okay, so what happened when you got there, sir?
Well, when I got there, the tenants downstairs allowed myself and the contractor and the appraiser and the lender in. And the thing is that what happened was I rang Mrs. Entreri's bell several times, knocked on the door several times, could not get in, and she didn't answer. And so after that happened, I called the attorney that was handling the estate for the seller. And I said to her, I says, I need to get into the building. I had this set up, and if you can really, got letters in there regarding this as well. So I had my associate with here, Mr. Gallen, and I used his cell phone to call, who then instructed me, because I had everyone out there. And it wasn't like it wasn't planned in advance.
It wasn't planned in advance?
I mean, it wasn't planned. You know.
Just a second, sir.
Yeah.
It wasn't planned with her.
Well,
Mr. Woodcock, it wasn't planned with her.
Well, look, well, I don't know how she cannot say that, but I mean, I had my secretary write the letter. I have the correspondence inside there.
Sir, it's right here. This is your secretary. This is your signature.
Right.
It said that you would be there on Wednesday,
right.
May 14th. You arrived a day early.
No, well...
And, Your Honor...
Shut!
Yeah, all right, forget about it.
No, Mr. Woodcock, you arrived a day early, sir.
Well, if I remember correctly, what had happened is I called the attorney. The attorney got a hold of Miss Entreri here, Miss Entreri, and to set the appointment. I'm just trying to recollect exactly what transpired in between.
You can't tell me what transpired between the attorney, sir, and the plaintiff, or between the attorney and yourself, because that's hearsay, Mr. Woodcock.
All right.
But what I'm telling you is that your last communication to the plaintiff, which was dated May the 12th, indicated that you would be there on the 14th, which is Wednesday, for an inspection. Now, you arrived on the 13th for an inspection, and so you told me you got there. The people downstairs allowed you to come in.
Right.
You went upstairs. You rang the bell.
No, I didn't go upstairs because I couldn't go upstairs. I rang the bell to go upstairs.
Yes.
And the thing is that when I could not get in, I used Mike's cell phone, called the attorney.
But not to call me.
No,
excuse me. I mean,
hey,
geez.
listen. You have to be quiet.
Okay, but he could have called me.
Hey!
Okay.
He's speaking.
I mean,
it's his turn.
Yeah.
He can have it.
Miss Entreri, don't irritate me.
Okay.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
But it is a situation that you don't know how it's going to affect you until it happens.
Of course.
That's how I would have felt.
Of course. I understand that.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Stephanie Intrieri wants $5,000 from real estate agent Paul Woodcock for breaking into her home. He says he had an appointment.
You used a cell phone without telling me what the conversation was with this other person that you dealt with, because that's hearsay. What did you do after you got off the cell phone?
After I got off the cell phone, I called the locksmith.
And you had the locksmith come over to the house?
Correct.
And the locksmith did what?
Picked the locks.
Okay. How many locks did the locksmith pick?
2.
Okay.
I believe it was 2. The front gate. No, wait a minute. I think we're already inside. It was her locks are the ones that we started to pick. Or he started to pick, because I'm not a locksmith.
And then the police arrived?
Then the police arrived.
Okay. Now, how long had you been the real estate agent for this property?
Oh, I don't know. 45 days, I guess.
Okay. So, my question is, how many units are in this whole complex?
2.
2 units. And in the 45 days that you were the realtor, did you at any time go out to inspect the plaintiff's apartment?
Yes.
On how many occasions?
I believe once I was actually able to get in.
And were you the first realtor that was attached to this property, or had there been one prior to you?
To my knowledge, no. I was the only one.
Excuse me, Your Honor, there actually were others because it was multiple listings initially.
Did you have an exclusive on this
Yes.
property? For how long?
90 days.
90 days starting when?
It's in the file. You have the file, Judge.
Can I see what you
This
have?
is another real estate company who was involved in the sale of the property, not Mason McDuffie, as Ms.
Shh. There was a prior realty company, sir, with regard to the same property. Okay, so that's the case. It's not a very difficult case.
Your Honor,
You-
if I
shh.
may add
About what?
about what happened to me after this incident, because I do feel that it's relevant.
You told me that you were stressed. You told me that you had ulcers. You told me that you had
And
that you were sick.
I didn't mention I had insomnia. We went on vacation. I'm getting up all in the middle of the night wherever I went, checking the locks in the middle of the night.
Miss Intreri.
And I never
Miss
had
Intreri.
ulcers before. I just
Miss
wanted
Intreri,
to add
I
that.
can't tell you without expert testimony,
I
which
do
I
have.
assume you do not have.
I do, from my physician.
I don't take letters from physicians.
It's his notes.
Did you hear what I just said? I do not take letters, notes from physicians unless I can actually examine them as to whether your ulcer was caused by this incident. Do you understand?
He specifically mentions the incident. And
Okay, whether he specifically mentions the incident, you specifically mentioned the incident.
okay. And he can be telephoned.
Listen to me, madam. I sometimes get off the bench and go to the phone and make a phone call. Not in this case. I understand exactly what happened. You were in your bedroom. You were not expecting these people, clearly based upon this. You had no reason to expect anyone there that day. You were frightened out of your wits for a while. It lasted a relatively short period of time until the police arrived, but during that 5 to 10 or 15 minutes that it was going on, you were scared to death. I understand that. Don't tell me that it clouded your entire life for the remainder of your entire life, because that's a lot of baloney. That's a lot of, because at the moment, once it was over, it's like, you know, being in a terrible accident, you know? You're frightened and it's terrible, but if you're a smart person and are not using it to milk a system, then you say, I'm going to put a period. I understand what it was. It was somebody who was doing the wrong thing. They were not trying to burglarize my home, right? He did the wrong thing. Miss Intreri.
But it is a situation that you don't know how it's going to affect you until it happens.
Of course.
That's how I would have felt.
Of course.
prior
I
to it
understand that.
happening
Miss
to me.
Intreri.
And my husband
Miss
knows.
Intreri, I'm very smart. They don't keep me here because I'm gorgeous.
And I'm not saying it ruined you.
I'm very smart.
I'm not saying
I'm very smart. You can be as serious as you like. I understand. I understand
But
that
it was very traumatic, particularly when you have other
I
injuries
understand,
already.
madam, that it was very traumatic. For that 15 minutes, it was traumatic.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
He could stand there and he can shake his head, no, no, no. But truth of the matter is, whether his secretary screwed up in sending this letter and got her dates wrong, or whether the appointment was changed by him, I am not satisfied that you received adequate notice. And he had absolutely no right, even, quite frankly, if you had been notified and if you weren't there, you paid rent on the apartment, he has no right to break into your apartment. And if he's relying on some conversation that he had with a lawyer, let him go sue the lawyer, because he's going to pay you $3,000. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
The president needs to be made for Mr. Woodcock so that he realizes that this is just not something you do to individuals when they dwell in security.
It surprises me the temerity and the gall that Mr. Woodcock has.
What am I going to say? What am I going to do?
He threw me on the ground, and then he made a motion as to like hit me.
She had a showdown with her sister's boyfriend about missing furniture, and she wasn't feeling well.
I was trying to self-medicate myself with marijuana for the sleeping and the eating disorder.
I don't want you to get any more upset. Listen to me.
I'm not upset, Your Honor.
Okay.
I just was...
Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Sir. Your Honor, this is case number 459 on the calendar in the matter of Mortley versus Ford. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
All right, Miss Morley, this is your sister.
Yes.
who you claim in your papers stole certain property from you when you were psychiatrically hospitalized.
Yes.
How many times have you been psychiatrically hospitalized?
3 times total.
And when?
Once in 1980.
How
when I
old
was
were you?
19. In 86, while going through a divorce, and then in July of 96.
And how long were you hospitalized in July of 96?
From July 18th to the 25th.
And do you know what your diagnosis, what your admitting diagnosis was on all 3 occasions?
The first 2 times I didn't know. I just know that I wasn't well. And but this last time, I was finally told what is called, the title of it. I have a depression-related disorder, and it's called bipolar.
And you take medication for that?
Yes.
What kind of medication do you take?
It's just a mood stabilizer, that's all it is. It was explained to me that through therapy that I have triggers that are called stress-related triggers. If I'm suffering from anxiety, my brain does not produce a certain chemical that combats the anxiety. Either your brain doesn't produce enough of it or it's not producing it at all when you're having mood swings, a severe amount of mood swings. And mine are stress-related.
And you have kids? You have 2 children?
Yes. I actually have 3.
Where is the third? Well, 2 of them are with your sister?
Yes.
Where's the 3rd child?
The 3rd is with his dad.
And how old is that child?
He's 2.
Okay. Now, how many sisters do you have?
This is the only sister I have.
Who are you?
The mother.
I knew that.
Thank you.
Your claim is that your sister took some of your property. I assume that that was in 1996.
Yes, when she took it, it was in 1996.
So tell me what property you believe she took from you in 1996, and tell me the circumstances.
Okay, when I was released from the hospital, I went to my sister's home because I knew I would no longer have an apartment. So I went straight to my sister's home. I resided there for 2 months. When I walked in the home, some of my furniture, I noticed some of my furniture was there. She didn't have any furniture. And my furniture was decorating her house, her living room and her dining room. And so I asked her at that time, I was going through one of my checkbooks that was in my purse, the immediate one, and I noticed a check that wasn't in my handwriting. And I asked her, well, what is this check? You know, did you make this check out? And she says, yes, I did. I actually made the check out so I could rent a U-Haul to remove the things from your apartment before the management got rid of it. I said, okay, and I left it at that.
So she rented the U-Haul, and how much was that check for?
It was approximately $100 and some odd dollars, I think $150. It was
Okay.
$150.
Okay. Now, what property do you think she still has of yours?
Honestly, I don't think she have it. I think her and her boyfriend pawned it.
What?
All of my electrical appliance, computer, fax machine, printer, CD player, a voice-activated microphone, and then extensive damage to my furniture throughout the time that it was in her place.
So it's those things that you think your sister has, some of your electrical appliances.
Yeah.
And this check for $150 for the U-Haul.
Yes, and the damage to my furniture.
Ms. Ford?
Yes.
Let's deal with some, what I consider important issues first, because this issue is only money. Your papers indicate that you've been granted custody of your sister's children.
Yes.
When were you granted custody of your sister's
July
children?
17th, the day that they went to my mother's care July 17th. My mother called me and told Children's Services.
July of 1996?
96. July 17, 96.
Have you had a hearing after that with regard to custody of the children?
Yes, I do, and I have the paperwork here.
Can I see the paperwork, please?
I also have the paperwork. It states in there that the daughter did not answer the door. I did.
Which is a lie.
You understand that right now, these 2 children are really in technical foster care.
Right.
And your sister is the foster parent.
Right.
Slash aunt of the children.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So you are receiving support for the children through the state.
Correct. Including all of my child support. And I have a son that's my son is mild cerebral palsy. She gets all of his Social Security, so she's really capitalizing off of my children.
Miss Mortley, listen to me. I can tell that there's a certain anger in your voice. The family court really has to be very careful. They've ordered several things. They've ordered visitation for the children. They've ordered random drug testing. Right. So I assume that there is some history of substance abuse in your past, which, you know, you sound like a really intelligent gal. So, you know, if you suffer from a chemical imbalance, which causes mood swings, which causes you to go into these really vast depressions.
I made a drastic mistake, Your Honor. After the first 2 times I got sick and my doctors wouldn't listen to me when I tell them...
You started to use...
I was trying to self-medicate myself with marijuana for the sleeping and the eating disorder, which...
Whatever.
That's the beginning symptoms of my illness.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Miss Mortley, I don't want you to get any more upset. Listen to me.
I'm not upset.
And later today...
It was that when they came to us, it was either they were taken to the dog pound to be destroyed, or we were going to keep them.
Mom had told me that I had to take Sheba to the pound.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Trina Mortley says her sister, Tanya Ford, forged her check and took some of her possessions while Trina was in a psychiatric hospital.
Miss Mortley, listen to me. In the brief period of time that we have here, all I can tell you is it's very unfortunate that you have these 2 kids that have been bounced about. But right now, they're in one place. Do you visit with them?
She won't allow me in the home.
She's too irate. She gets irate, and I can't handle it. I have kids of my own.
Well, listen to me. The children have to see their mother.
Yeah, that's true, and I agree. And I made it neutral, and I made arrangements where I can even take them over to my mom. It can be neutral ground. There won't be no harassment. I don't want to create a scene in front of the kids.
Listen, I think that that's the most important issue that we're going to address today, because we're not going to be able to resolve the issue of your old computer or your CD. Do you have any of those items?
No. Honor, I don't have any of those items. Okay. And I thought I was being helpful by retrieving her stuff because they had a notice on her door. Her stuff was going to be padlocked within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And if I knew this was going to be such a big issue, I would have just left it. Her apartment was broken into, okay? The place was a wreck when we got there. Stuff was tossed. The apartment manager said she threw clothes, shoes, stuff out the window. It was holes in the wall, curtains, stuff. The place was just totally wrecked.
Well, your sister at that time,
I don't have any other things. She took her, matter of fact.
Your Honor, she's lying, Your Honor.
Okay, no, listen to me.
Yes, she is.
Listen to me.
You weren't even
The most important thing that you have to deal with, and I don't know whether we can deal with it today.
I have documentations to prove that she's lying, Your Honor.
Miss Mortley, the most important thing that you should be concentrating on right now, since you seem to be stable or stabilized, is maintaining contact with your children. But if because you are angry with your sister, which clearly you are, which hopefully you will not be maybe 6 months from now.
We've never had a sisterly relationship.
Okay.
Never.
So,
and
but
it
right
has
now
nothing to do with my illness,
But right
Your
now
Honor.
she's taking care of your children.
She's always taken advantage of me any way she can.
Miss Mortley, listen to me very carefully, madam. I cannot make a determination whether in 1996 your sister took any of your property. My sense is, no, I have to listen. My sense is that she did not. It seems to me the most important thing that the 3 of you can do now,
I'm never having a relationship with her, Your Honor. I can't believe how she's lying.
Listen to
and
me.
I had someone living with me who can testify the condition of my furniture, and I was allowed to visit her in her home, and my furniture was intact all the way until she banned me from her home in December of '97, and that's because her and her boyfriend have a serious gambling problem.
Oh, Lord.
My children...
Miss Mortley, I don't want you to get any more upset. Listen to me.
I'm not upset, Your Honor.
Okay.
I just was trying
I'm
to
getting
present
upset.
my case.
I'm getting upset.
I haven't had a chance to present any documents,
Listen
Your
to
Honor.
me. Miss Mortley, right now your sister has care and custody of your kids. It's important for you to try and for your sister to try, and for your sister to try to reach, to put a period with regard to whatever has happened in the past, and to try to work towards having a normal relationship with her, because right now she is caring for your children. It's really important. It's probably the most important thing you're going to do. If you can't do that, I think everybody's going to suffer. You, your sister, your mother, and especially your two children. I am dismissing your lawsuit. I am dismissing your counterclaim. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
Parties on Archambault versus Archambault. Step forward, please.
50-year-old claims administrator Jean Archambault is suing her brother-in-law, Jeff Archambault, 39, over a dog.
This is your brother,
Yes.
your brother-in-law.
That's correct.
Families fighting over a dog. I've read this complaint. Let me see if I understand it. You lived with your brother and his wife for a while. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, I did.
And when you were living there, you owned a dog.
Yes, I did.
What kind of a dog did you have?
Purebred chow.
They're cute. Fuzzy things.
Yes, he is.
And then you left your brother's house, and the dog was left there.
That's correct.
You say that he abandoned the dog.
I'm saying he gave us the dog.
Then he came back and picked it up.
That's correct.
So tell me, how long did you have this dog in your possession?
From June of 1996 till December of 97.
And you want to be compensated for the care that you gave the dog during that year-and-a-half period?
No.
Well, what do you want?
I want the dog returned. They told me I had to name a dollar figure when I filed.
That's correct.
On my thing, it just says I want the dog returned.
You understand that I can award you damages, but that I cannot order specific performance of this animal, the return of this animal. Why did you take the dog back, sir?
Well, in the year and a half that they had him by himself, he was chained to a tree the whole time. He was never allowed in the house. He was basically raised in the house.
How old was he?
He's 10 now.
And how long did you have him for, you yourself?
My mother gave him to me when he was 4 months old.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
There are only two brothers. You shouldn't let something like this interfere with that.
He causes it.
May cause it, but you're older. You're supposed to stop it.
Well, I just ignore him.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jean Archambault is suing her brother-in-law, Jeff Archambault, over a dog.
How many dogs do you have?
I have 2 now. I have Bear and a little dachshund.
How many dogs do you have?
We have 2 also.
You have 2 other dogs.
2 other dogs.
What kind of dogs do you have?
Chows.
He had the dog for almost 10 years.
It was that when they came to us, it was either they were taken to the dog pound to be destroyed, or we were going to keep them. I begged them not to take them to the pound to be destroyed. They were good dogs. They're still good dogs.
Who was going to have them destroyed?
He said his mother and him were going to take them to the pound.
What do you mean take them?
Take Sheba and Bear. I have his mother's dog still with us, and one of his cats that he left there.
Did you ever say that the dog was going to have to go to the pound, sir?
Not Bear.
Which one?
Sheba. Mom had told me that I had to take Sheba to the pound.
Why?
Because she couldn't take her to my sister's.
How much did you spend on this dog for the year that you had this dog?
We have receipts. We have something from the dog groomer where we take the dogs to the groomers. We have bought dog food, and he did come to us in the garage and say that we could either keep the dogs or they would be destroyed. And
do you think he's taking good care of the dog?
I have no doubt, truthfully, that he is.
What do you have pictures of?
I have pictures of the dogs.
I'd just like to see a picture of Bear.
We don't have a picture of Bear right there.
You have one?
We have pictures
Yes, I
of the
do,
dogs.
Judge. I have several pictures of Bear.
Pick your best one.
That's kind of hard. How about best 2?
Okay. Did you 2 brothers get along before this incident?
Off and on. Off and on. we've had our words with each other. We're family, guaranteed.
Okay. I want you to do me a favor. Sit down for a second. What's your first name?
Dennis.
Dennis. Younger brother?
Yes.
How much younger?
11 years.
How many brothers are there altogether?
Just 2 of us.
Before this incident happened with the dog, were you talking to your brother?
Yes.
Reasonable relationship?
Yes.
Did this come between the 2 of you?
Yes.
I don't want to come in between you and your wife.
I understand.
He feels as if this is his dog. Now, he may not have done the right thing for a year and a half, but bottom line is you have 2 other chows.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
And he had this one for 10 years. And it's not worth family. It's not.
Well.
It's not worth the family. And maybe he didn't do the right thing all the time. I have a feeling that's probably true, that he probably didn't. But certainly, a 10-year-old dog isn't worth breaking up 2 brothers over. Would you say that that's true?
That's true.
And your first name is?
Jeff.
Jeff. You left this dog with them for a year and a half, right?
Yes, I did.
So it seems to me that you have to compensate your brother in dollars for taking care of your dog for that year and a half. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Good.
That's fair.
Good. All right, well, we're getting someplace. So how much do you think it costs to feed this chow, to groom the chow for a year and a half, to take care of all the expenses of a dog for a year and a half?
It's $500 maybe is what it would have cost at the most.
Okay. I want to tell you something. I think that that's reasonable.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
They have 2 dogs. Now you have 1. It was your dog for 9 years, and it seems to me this matter has to be resolved. And if I were to say to you, you must return the dog to your brother and to his wife, I would forever rip apart this family, which sounds to me to be stupid, over a 10-year-old dog.
Yeah,
So, listen to me. So I am awarding you $500 for the care of the dog. Be happy. You're keeping your dog. It's going to cost you $500 for dog sitting for a year and a half. There are only 2 brothers. If there are only 2 brothers, you shouldn't let something like this interfere with that.
Yeah. He causes it. He causes it.
May cause it, but you're older. You're supposed to stop it.
Well, I just ignore him.
Well,
just like I've ignored the money you borrowed from me too,
he's your
Dennis.
brother.
That's right.
I'm a liar and a
He's
cheat.
your brother. Forget it.
That's right.
All right? You think you can do that?
No, Your Honor, I can't forget what Dennis has done to me in my past. I can't.
That's sad. That's really sad.
No.
I mean,
it is sad.
You lived with him for a while? With your mother?
Well, no. My mother supported him for a while.
Oh, really?
Oh, listen, there's too much to this case.
Yeah, there is.
There is really too much to this case. You have your dog. It's going to cost you $500. You can't get together as a family. That's sad. That's it. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Mr. Kramer, what did you do before Jerry Seinfeld made you an icon?
Yeah, I managed a rock reggae band. I had everything to avoid actual work.
The real-life Kramer is dragged into court by a disillusioned worker from his failed mayoral campaign.
I will tell you that you're an interesting character, but I wouldn't let you run a city. We've had that already.
Donald Iarussi says Kenny Kramer, the inspiration for Seinfeld's Kramer, did not pay him for working on his Kramer for Mayor campaign. Kramer says no one was paid.
Order. All rise. Now, this is case number 456 on the calendar in the matter of Iarussi versus Kramer. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have seats, please.
Well, this is a rather interesting complaint. Mr. Iarussi, according to your complaint, you became involved with the defendant's campaign when he decided to run for mayor of New York City. And I gather from your papers and from his response that he decided to run for mayor because he had developed a certain celebrity, because the character of Kramer from that wonderful Seinfeld program was fashioned after him. Is that right, sir?
This is a fact, Your Honor.
You're much better looking.
Thank you.
So you became involved with this fiasco because
Your Honor.
even I'm sure Mr. Kramer over here knew that it was a fiasco.
I don't think so, Your Honor.
Well, listen.
That was a serious intent at the time I began this campaign.
Mr. Kramer, New York City is an interesting place, and I've lived in New York most of my adult life. And having seen you, sir, and having watched your character for many, many years, I will tell you that you're an interesting character, but I wouldn't let you run a city. We've had that already in New York. So, you became involved in this fiasco
Yes, Your Honor.
that I assume you believe you're an intelligent human being,
I believe so, most of the time.
and you are a New Yorker.
Yeah, a New Yorker.
So, as a New Yorker, you're supposed to have a certain amount of common sense, know where it's at, know what's real, know what's not real, know when it's raining, know when it's somebody else is doing something on your leg. You're supposed to know all those things, right?
Well, I did live in Texas for 8 years.
So you became involved with this thing sort of
Yes.
on a lark.
Something like that.
Sure. And so you're suing him because you say that he promised to pay you 50 cents a piece for the signatures that you got on a petition.
And I did a great job.
Just a second.
Okay.
50 cents a piece for the signatures that you got on petitions so that he could get his name on the ballot. Because you
Yes.
needed how many signatures, sir?
7,500.
How many did you get?
We got over 7,500.
Did you pay anybody else for getting signatures?
No, Your Honor.
Then you decided, enough of this foolishness and I'm throwing in the towel.
It became a lot of work.
Yeah. What kind of work do you usually do?
I run a reality tour, a Kramer's reality tour, my show for Seinfeld fans. It's a multimedia romp through the world of Seinfeld, and I have a stage show based on it. And so basically I travel around the country, and I run this tour in New York City every weekend. And that's what I've been doing for a livelihood.
Well, what are you going to do when Seinfeld goes off the air? You're going to have to get a real job, Mr. Kramer.
I doubt it very much because, you know, there's only 39 Honeymooner episodes, and that's still here. So Seinfeld will finish with 177. It's part of the world's cultural landscape.
Mr. Kramer, what did you do before Jerry Seinfeld made you an icon?
I managed to live through my own entrepreneurial ways. I did stand-up comedy for a number of years. I invented electronic jewelry. I managed a rock reggae band. I had everything to avoid actual work, I might add.
I'm glad you added that. Tell me how he promised to pay you.
Well, let's go back a little and how we actually met at a conference sometime in 1997, and I was putting together some articles, and I had wanted to do an article on Kramer for some Far Eastern magazines. So anyway, Kramer, I went on the reality tour, and I have to admit it's a great tour, and I enjoyed it and had a lot of fun. And so right after that, I started putting some articles together on Kramer, and on April 22nd, I had gotten a letter inviting me to share a moment of history with the real Kramer at 6 p.m. at the Cafe St. Francis. So I went there, and Kramer had about 5 or 10 people there, and they talked about his intention to run for mayor, and people got picked for various positions to basically run the campaign. My duties were to get people to volunteer for the campaign and anything I can do along that line, and also go out and get signatures myself.
And you got enough nutty New Yorkers who came
I got
up.
a lot of signatures. I think I'm the
Right.
best there is in signatures getting, and Kramer will attest to that.
You got a lot. You said you got a lot of signatures, a lot of good-looking women, a lot of signatures you couldn't use because they weren't citizens, but they were good-looking.
So anyway, there was a time in the campaign where I was putting in a lot of time, so I had talked to the treasurer about not being able to do this because it was too time-consuming and needed to work something out. And he says, well, let me throw some money your way, and we'll have some money coming in, and I could offer what's a standard rate for signatures, and it's pretty much 50 cents a signature in New York if you do that. Go out and get signatures. So I agreed to that with him, and went.
Where is he?
He couldn't be here today, Your Honor.
Well, you didn't bring him here. You can't tell me what he said to you. You can't tell me that he agreed.
I couldn't get in touch with him.
Well, that's not my problem, sir. That's your problem.
So anyway,
tell me what conversations you had with the defendant.
So Kenny and I had some conversations after that, and after the campaign was over, Kenny decided to back out of the campaign and not go any further. We both had other work and went different ways, and Kenny started traveling a little, and he was really out of pocket. And I had some things coming up where I figured, well, then if there isn't money in the campaign or I'm not able to get in touch with his campaign treasurer, maybe he could do some appearances for me. And he agreed he would do an appearance for fundraising. And that was the last.
Fundraising for what?
Oh, I do a lot of work with nonprofit organizations, and I've won awards for my rape awareness public service announcements about for rape crisis centers.
So
I put together 30-second PSAs.
He said he would do an appearance for you.
Right, so he said he would do an appearance for me, and then
Did he do that? Did he do an appearance for you?
No, he did not. Okay. But he was also very busy, and I did keep trying to reach him, and there was never an anger about this. It's just that I kept trying
So when did you get angry, Mr. Irizui?
Well, I never got angry. I think he's a wonderful person and a good human being. I just think he owes me the money.
Well, just a second. Well, when did you decide that you wanted the money?
About a month ago.
About a month ago?
Yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I was an intern on the Kramer for Mayor campaign, and I just want to say that at no time did Kramer act improperly towards me at all.
And later today...
I don't find, sir, that part of your lawsuit is legitimate for this court. Do you understand? That is all I'm entertaining, sir. Do you understand? Period. End of discussion. I'm telling you what it is. If you wish to leave, you can leave.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Donald Iarussi wants former mayoral candidate Kenny Kramer to pay him for working on his campaign. Kramer says no one was paid.
I have a couple of questions for you. Did you ever have a direct conversation with Mr. Kramer wherein Mr. Kramer said that he was going to pay you for working on his campaign?
No, I did not. I did not.
So is there any other person here that you had a direct conversation with who was attached to his campaign?
Well, I talked to John Seminary. Shh. Yes.
You didn't hear my question.
Go ahead.
Is there another person here who was attached to his campaign who you had a conversation with about payment of 50 cents each for the signatures that you gathered?
Yes.
And who was that?
John Seminary.
Where is he?
He's seated to the left of Kramer.
Step up here, sir.
I was Kenny's campaign manager from the whole time before that meeting began. We had hoped the campaign would be a little more successful. What we had thought would be we had hats and pins and bumper stickers and T-shirts made, and we hoped that those funds would be able to kick off the campaign as far as the fundraising goes. And that never materialized. We had felt that the mayor
People in New York aren't that stupid.
Well, no, we had felt that the mayor...
Could you answer my question for me? I mean, this is not a catharsis for you, sir.
No, it's not.
Did you ever, as campaign manager?
No.
How come you always anticipate it? I feel like Johnny Carson and Karnak. They answer my question before I ask the question. Listen to me. Did you ever tell the plaintiff that he was going to be paid for gathering signatures?
Yes, we had spoken. And
about what?
About some money for out-of-pocket expenses because people were traveling on the subway by themselves.
Right.
There were times, and I know there was a rainstorm, and I was caught with a bunch of people, and I went for a few rounds, So there were.
What does that mean, a few rounds?
Well, I paid for a few beers and some drinks for people.
Oh.
So,
Mr. Iarussi, I gather you had a conversation with him wherein it was discussed that you had certain expenses, and what were you going to do about it, if anything? And he said, we'll try to take care of some of your expenses, and if we can't, we'll try to work out some other way to make you happy. Is that about it?
Yeah, that's about it.
How does that translate into 50 cents a signature?
No, that translated into a money amount where we also talked about a personal appearance where I would
Just a second. Was there any time frame with regard to this personal appearance?
I emailed Kramer on July 10th, and he responded saying, let me know the date and time.
So did you tell him? Did you give him a date and time?
I did, but he was, well, no.
Just a second.
No, not a definite one because he was out of town.
So did you give him a date when you wanted him to appear and give him sufficient time so that he wasn't doing all this traveling so he could appear for you? The answer is either yes or no.
Yes.
And when was that?
July 10th, 1997.
Do you remember receiving that email?
I may have, Your Honor, but as Mr. Ruzzi said, I had been traveling a great deal. But, you know, one thing I'd like to make clear now, the dispute that he claims is about these signatures. But I'd like to just enter into evidence, if I may, some of these sheets of signatures.
Listen to me. You don't have to bother, because I find that there was no agreement with regard to payment for signatures.
Well, even if there was, the signatures are totally invalid. There are 15 signatures on our page. Every one of them is women. He's just
What's
signed,
wrong with women?
Well, and many of them from illegible. You can't read signatures. You can't, you know, so the point is if you're paying for signatures, it should be a valid signature.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
Mr. Colford, you're supposed to file a lawsuit because it's a legitimate lawsuit, not because you're using it as a sort of Damocles that you're holding over somebody's head.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Donald Iarussi wants former mayoral candidate Kenny Kramer to pay him for working on his campaign. Kramer says no one was paid.
Mr. Kramer, I haven't heard any testimony that is in any way persuasive that there was a contract, an employment contract, even if it was as an independent contractor, for him to be paid for those signatures. What I have heard is, and what I tend to believe, is that he was supposed to be in some way compensated for all the hard work that he did. There was never a fixed amount, but that you did, in fact, assure him that you would make a personal appearance for him at one of his fundraisers. Now, isn't that true?
That is true, Your Honor.
And all I'm trying to find out is whether you welched on that agreement.
And I'm available to make a personal appearance at at any time and date that I'm available for.
Well, then this is perfect. We have a fine resolution to this case. Sir, I find that there was no contractual arrangement between you and the defendant to pay you for the signatures. However, I do find that he did agree, either through himself or through his manager, to compensate you for some out-of-pocket expenses, and you agreed to take the services of Mr. Kramer in compensation or in lieu of the dollar amount, and Mr. Kramer has indicated that he is prepared to follow through with that. So it's been a pleasure meeting you. I wish you continued success. Your case is dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Step out. Out the back door to your right, please.
Look, I just want to say here and now that I was an intern on the Kramer for Mayor campaign, and I just want to say that at no time did Kramer act improperly towards me at all. Okay, I just want to make that very clear, because we are in a sort of a semi-legal, semi-media setting. I just want to make that clear. No soiled clothing of any kind, nothing.
And now the next case.
All parties on Kofod versus D'Amato. Step forward, please.
39-year-old medical salesman John Kofed is suing his on-again, off-again lover of 5 years, Gwen D'Amato.
Well, I've tried to make heads and tails out of these papers. A brief statement of the facts in these cases are what's usually asked for. You folks wrote a novella with regard to your complaint and your answer. But I gather from these papers that you were in a long personal and business relationship with each other, neither of which worked out.
Correct.
And, sir, you allege that during that time you advanced vast sums of money to the defendant, which are not the subject of this lawsuit. You understand that? Because you say that she owes you some $25,000. That's not the jurisdiction of this court.
I understand that, Your Honor.
So that what you are asking for is the personal property that you left behind when she told you to leave?
Well, actually, Your Honor, I'm asking for up to $5,000, which is within this jurisdiction of this court. I've given you documentation showing over $20,000 that I advanced on behalf of the defendant based
Well,
on...
sir, let me ask you this question. Why, if you have documentation to show that she owes you $25,000, why would you settle for $5,000?
Well, Your Honor, the defendant has no assets left in her name whatsoever. She's got somebody that's taking care of her, who has bought her a vehicle, who's buying her a home, who's given her thousands of dollars of cash. I have absolutely no chance of recovering anything from this woman if I have a judgment against her anyway. So
sir, now what we're going to talk about is the personal property that you left behind. Do you understand? You just told me that if you get a judgment against her, it's an empty judgment. Right? Is that right?
Not exactly, Your Honor.
Well, that's what you just told me, sir.
I did tell you that, Your Honor. The reason that I filed this case to begin with is because I'm continually harassed by the defendant. I had a temporary restraining...
Just a second. Just a second.
I had the defendant place a temporary restraining order against me without supporting facts, which was thrown out in court by a judge on June the 20th. At that time, I served her with a small claims case so that I had something legally against her that I could always hold in my hands in case she tried to do something again against me.
Mr. Kofod, what you've just told me is you're abusing the court system. When you file a lawsuit, you're supposed to file a lawsuit because it's a legitimate lawsuit, not because you're using it as a sort of Damocles that you're holding over somebody's head. If you have a problem with her with regard to filing false complaints against you, then there is a cause of action that you can file against her. What I'm telling you now, sir, is the only thing that I'm dealing with in this case is the property that you say that you left behind, which you say totals, so I've read these papers even though they kept me up half the night trying to figure them out, $1,025, and since you say she doesn't have any money, we're going to talk about the property. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand?
I understand, Your
Good.
Honor, but
I want you to understand.
Am I not within my rights, Your Honor, to sue her for what she has borrowed from me and not paid back, and for property that I paid for?
I don't find, sir, that that part of your lawsuit is legitimate for this court. Do you understand?
I understand, Your
Fine.
Honor, but...
Take that to civil court where the jurisdiction is beyond the $5,000 jurisdiction of this court. That is all I'm entertaining, sir. Do you understand? Period. End of discussion. I'm telling you what it is. If you wish to leave, you can leave.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm talking about a Toshiba microwave, a Panasonic 2-line business speaker phone, Sears Kenmore vacuum cleaner, heavy duty, miscellaneous dishes, Tupperware, clothes, and appliances. Total value of plaintiff's property in defendant's possession, $1,025. That is what I'm hearing today. Do you understand that?
Your Honor, I can't afford to take her to civil court and hire an attorney to do
Fine, then
that.
let's deal with the property that's here.
But my case was for the money that she took from me also.
Mr. Kofod, do you want me to consider the items here that you outline that she has in her possession that belong to you? Do you want me to consider those items?
What I would like you to consider, Your Honor, is exactly what I wrote down, was money and property taken.
This case is dismissed, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Gwen is a drama queen. Gwen lies about everything. Gwen has got serious problems. She absolutely is a gold digger. Absolutely, without question, a gold digger.
He's bitter. He needs to move on and get on with his life. He needs to leave me alone.
I like them as a couple. They were great friends of ours, and, you know, Gwen was a friend of mine, and unfortunately, I can't look at her the same way.
I fell in love with that woman, and I believed in what she told me.
She knows she did the wrong thing.
When their mother died, two sisters broke their 25-year silence to fight over the will.
We said our goodbyes at the funeral home on the 4th day. She hugged me. She didn't want to know she was dead until she was gone and buried a week, because she knew she'd have her bones picked clean before they even got cold, what she told me.
She just... According to your complaint, this lawsuit originates over a battle involving your mother's death and a
Yes.
will. Is that right?
Yes.
Miss Nutter, pay attention. I gather from these papers that you two had not been close. Is that right?
That's right.
How long hadn't you spoken before your mother died?
It's been approximately 25 years.
Was your mother ill before she died?
Yes, she was.
I understand that there was a will, correct?
Yes, that's right.
While we're discussing this case, can I see a copy of that will? The lawsuit indicates, Miss Pruetti, that when your mother died, there were two bank accounts, one at the World Bank and one at the Home Savings Bank. According to the terms of this will, one bank account was your sister's, correct?
That's right.
And one was yours.
That's right.
And she emptied out both.
That's right.
So far, is that correct?
Yes. Well, sort of.
Okay. This will is relatively simple. It's signed by your mother. In this will, when did your mother die, by the way?
September the 13th, 1997.
So she made this will 8 years before. She left you a World Savings Bank account.
That she did.
And everything else, she said, that was not listed in here, she gave to your sister Linda. And I assume that the Home Savings Bank account is one that she had when she made out this will. Why did you close it? You closed it and took out all the money.
That's right. That's because she gave it to me. She
Sure.
called me up and asked me. Now, wait a minute. There were two accounts at that bank.
At which bank?
At the World Savings.
So let me see all the accounts that you have there, madam, that you closed out. Ah, 440541. All right. So this is the account. Your mother's name is Ruby?
Yes.
I haven't even looked at the other stuff yet. This account she clearly left to you. In this account was $817.50 in September of 1997. And then you closed it.
Yes, ma'am.
So you got $817
Yes, ma'am.
from that account.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, that clearly she left to you. That's on your side. Now, the other World Savings account had $12,996 in it.
Mm-hmm. That's mine, too.
Who says so?
My name is on it, and she gave it to me.
Oh, just a second. I didn't look at that. Well,
Okay.
don't tell me she gave it to you.
Okay.
Let's see. Whose name was this account in? Okay. Absolutely right. So, Miss Pruetti, this account your mother opened as trustee for your sister Shelby. So clearly, when she opened this account, it was her intention to have Shelby be the recipient of these funds. Got it?
Yes.
So, Miss Nutter?
Yes, ma'am.
This is on your side.
Oops, sorry.
This is on your side. Now, let's go look at the Home Savings Bank. Do you have a statement from the Home Savings Bank?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Can I see it, please? Now, you withdrew from the Home Savings Bank $1,296.63.
Yes, ma'am.
Explain to me why you think you have any right to this money.
Because my mother had called me up, and she had asked me if I wanted the mobile home or if I wanted the money. And she didn't say how much money. And I said the money. She says, okay, then that's the way it will be.
Oh, madam, come on. You played fast and loose. That's not right. This clearly your mother intended for you because it has your name on it. Your mother clearly intended anything that was not included in this account at the World Bank to go to your sister. You had a whole laundry list of things that you were getting, and everything else was supposed to be to your sister. Go ahead. You want to tell me something?
Yes, Your Honors. On November 19th, I wrote my sister a letter informing her of the will, telling her that I was going to give her until December 15th in order for her to respond to me.
She'd already taken the money out, right?
By November 19th, yes, she had.
did.
She'd already taken it out.
She took it out in October.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the point of
I
that?
let 47 days go by because I was told by my mother that I was the recipient of the home checking account. My sister had not spoken to her mother in at least 12 years.
That's not so.
It doesn't make any difference. Listen, this account is yours.
So I gave her to December 15th in order to respond to me. I let her know that I was aware that she did take the money out, and I was waiting for her to send me a copy of the check with the statement. I then sent her a copy of our mother's will at that time. That's how she got the copy of the will. She did not have a copy of the will prior to going to the bank.
Did you tell her that there was a will?
I read the will to her in her mobile home at the time when my daughter and I went to her mobile home, and when we got word of her death. We read her the will. I gave her the will to view for her own self. She took whatever possessions she wanted. She says, but I'd like to have this, and I want this, and I want that. And I said, it was your mother too. You take whatever you wanted. She did, Your Honor, take whatever she wanted, and I gladly gave it to her. She told me that our separation had been much, much too long. She hugged me. She took us out to lunch.
I didn't do that.
She took us out to lunch. She said that she wanted to, Your Honor, divide everything 50-50, everything. We said our goodbyes at the funeral home on the 4th day. She hugged me. She said goodbye to my children. None of her children went to the funeral. And then off she rode into the sunset with a brand new car that she had bought with a minimal down payment on the day of her death, and went down and bragged to me when I spoke with her that she went down on the day of the funeral, took the money out of the account and paid her car off and laughed. She thought it was hysterical.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Everybody else was crying over her grandma, you know, she died and everything like that. And Aunt Shelby said, gosh, I thought the old lady died, the old bag died 12 years ago. I haven't seen her in so long.
And later today.
Did you fix the cesspool, I hope?
When I asked him for the money, he told me I could, why don't you just use an outhouse?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Linda Pruetti wants her sister, Shelby Nutter, to share the money in their deceased mother's bank accounts.
Miss Pruetti, you understand that I am finding that the money in the account at the home bank belonged to you.
Thank you.
That was $1,296.63. That's what was there.
Thank you.
Correct?
Yes.
Well, that's what you're entitled to.
Thank you.
She did the wrong thing. She knows she did the wrong thing. She just beat you to the bank.
That's what she says. She laughed. She thought it was funny. She called me greedy. She says, you're greedy. I thought you would have gotten there before me.
Listen, it sounds to me as if you did pretty well. You got almost, I don't know, how much, $13,000? $14,000? A lot more than $1,296.63.
Not just that, I got more than that.
Good. Good.
Well, let me tell you. A check came to the house, a dividend check on my account with my name on it. She took it.
How do you know she took it?
Lady 2 doors down called me up and told me so. She saw the amount, told me that I knew
Listen,
the amount.
madam, you know that this is a court. If you have a witness...
Here.
Shh, listen to me. If you have a witness, you bring in a witness. Did you ever take a dividend check that belongs to her?
No, ma'am.
Hmm?
How could the lady know the amount of it?
Maybe she took it.
That old lady didn't take it.
You did the wrong thing. You knew what your mother had intended in her will.
Yes,
and whether
I
you
did.
spoke to your sister or not, whether you were estranged your sisters or not, whether you liked your mother or not, when someone dies, especially a parent, what's supposed to happen is they are entitled to dispose of their property any way they want to dispose of it. And your mother took great care in her will to leave certain things to you. Why she outlined them specifically, that these were the things that you were getting and everything else went to your sister, I don't know. Maybe your mother was smarter than...
She wasn't even on the list of people to be notified if she died. That's why she didn't know till Sunday. I sent the sheriffs over to tell her. She didn't want to know she was dead until she was gone and buried a week, because she knew she'd have her bones picked clean before they even got cold, what she told me.
Is that what she told you? You know,
Yes,
you talk to a lot of people.
That's what she told me.
You talk to a lot of people.
I talked to my mother.
How often did you go and visit your mother in the last month that she was alive?
Well,
just not a well. Well is not an answer.
My daughter was in a very serious car accident.
Listen to me, Miss Nutter.
I didn't
Tell
go
me your
at
whole
all.
story.
I didn't even know where she was or where she moved to.
So the answer is I didn't go and see her at all.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,296.63. This case is over.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Back door to your right.
She's a brute, she's malicious, and she's mean. Ever since I was born, she beat me up. She beat me up all my life. All my life. She was intimidating. She's a brute. She's not nice. She's very special.
Well, Mom liked me best.
Tell
and
me.
I gotta go.
That's true. That's true.
And now the next case.
Parties on. McIsaac versus Coletti. Step forward, please.
22-year-old Keith McIsaac claims neighbor Dennis Coletti, 29, ran his truck over his lawn and destroyed his cesspool. Dennis is countersuing Keith for a cracked windshield.
Wait till you hear this one.
Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Neighbors.
Somewhat.
What does that mean?
We're a few houses apart.
I didn't say next door neighbors. I said your neighbors.
Okay.
And you got a new truck.
Yes.
And you were a friend of his?
Yes.
So you wanted to show him your new truck, right?
Well, yeah, I wanted to show him an accessory I added to the truck.
So why don't you tell me what you did?
I called him up. I asked him to come down to my house. He said he was very busy. He had a lot of things going on, and that he wouldn't be able to make it down to my house right away. I said, well, I'll come over and show you. So I drove up to his stoop, across his grass, and parked next to his stoop and got out and showed him my truck.
Across my grass.
Across your lawn.
Right.
Well, he's done it to me in the past.
Just a sec. I don't care whether he's done it to you or not. That's not the subject of this lawsuit, sir. The subject of this lawsuit is 5 minutes after you drove your truck off his property, what happened?
My cesspool caved in. It was a little more than 5 minutes, but it caved in within a half an hour. The whole thing caved in.
Well, cesspool's 50 years old anyway.
Shh. Hey, don't talk to him. Talk to me. Can I please see the pictures of the damage to the driveway, to the lawn? You have estimates?
Yes.
Let me see them.
I have the paid cesspool bill, which when I gave to him, he crumpled up, ripped up, and threw at me. And I have estimates, which the work isn't done on yet.
What are you showing me here?
I'm showing you the collapsed wall, the collapsed rail tie wall that fell in.
When
My
did you
shrubs,
take these pictures?
When it happened.
When it happened?
Yes.
And what was the total estimate to fix this cesspool?
Total estimate for the cesspool, I believe, was $1,200.
And what are all these plantings here? You got 5 azaleas, boxwood trees.
Those are the trees that I lost in the cave-in.
You don't lose any trees in the cave, and you didn't even take care of your stuff in the beginning.
First of all, I lost all those trees. Those are the estimates I got on the trees that I lost. The
Show me.
shrubs.
You never
Show
watered
me.
your shrubs.
Hey,
They're all dead.
Do I look like I need help from you?
No.
I mean, you were foolish enough to begin with, right?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're 28 years old. You're supposed to be a responsible human being. You have a wife. You have a child. You don't take a truck and drive it on somebody else's lawn. That's stupid.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Keith McIsaac says his neighbor, Dennis Coletti, ran his truck over his lawn, destroying his cesspool. Dennis says Keith cracked his windshield.
How old are you?
28.
Is this your house that you live in?
Yeah.
It's your house. You own this house?
Yes.
Who else lives there in the house with you?
My wife and child.
Did you fix the cesspool, I hope?
I fixed the cesspool. It took me 3 days to get the money up. I had to pay cash for it. And when I asked him for the money, he told me I could, why don't you just use an outhouse?
Oh. This bill that you got for concrete and all that other kind of stuff,
Yes.
$1,625?
Right.
What was that for?
That was for the driveway. I caved in.
The driveway caved in around the cesspool?
Part of the driveway caved in with the cesspool, when the cesspool caved in.
Just a piece of it?
A piece of it.
But you had to replace the...
Well, I had, you know, if it was going to be replaced at one part, why should I have to suffer and look at that when he drove on my lawn?
So you had the whole thing done?
I didn't have it done yet. That's just an estimate. I have to, I'm trying to get the money, you know.
All right. Sir.
Yes.
Your answer says that you did him a favor because the cesspool was 45 years old and would have caved in anyway sooner or later. That was your answer,
Well,
right?
every other cesspool in the neighborhood is caved in at one time or another, except for maybe one or two.
But you pushed his a little bit quicker.
Well, my truck didn't fall in with it after I left his property.
That's
Cesspool
right,
happened to cave in as a coincidence.
That helped it out.
It's a terrible coincidence, but it did happen.
It's not a
that way.
coincidence. Oh.
Now that I have a figure on here on the cesspool and the damage on the cesspool from these bills, let's talk about your counterclaim. Wait till you hear this counterclaim.
Would you like to see the pictures of him driving on my grass?
I don't care about him driving on your grass, sir. I don't care about him driving on your grass.
But it's just the manner in which we visit each other, and
That's
you
not
know,
on the,
maybe
it's not
maybe
on
it is
the grass. The
childish.
pictures that you have does not show the car on the grass.
Maybe it's childish behavior.
I'm going to give you 3. I'm going to count to 3. And then if you both don't shut up, I'm going to throw you both out. I won't hear your case. Do you understand? All right. So you're counterclaiming for $300. You want to tell me what kind of damage he did and when this was?
Well, the dollar amount that the estimate was changed to $119.08, based on an estimate I got. I was under bad information when I gave that $300 claim.
$119.08 for what?
A windshield, my wife's car.
All right. Now tell me about the windshield.
We went away on vacation, my wife and my child, and we were good friends, and Keith used to house it, and I have dogs, and he would at times when I left the house for extended periods of time take care of the animals in the house and watch over the house and feed my dogs and whatnot. And we came back from our vacation to find our dogs were never fed, and my wife's windshield was broken on a car. That was the only damage that I could put a dollar amount on. Outside of everything else he did in disaster.
$119.08 is for the windshield.
Yes.
What happened to the windshield on the car?
I have no idea what he's talking about with the windshield on the car.
When did this happen, sir?
When we came back from vacation.
When?
Oh,
month, year?
June of '96.
June of '96?
Yeah.
What a life.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All right. June of '96. I mean, you're going to go back in history? We're going to go back to the year of the flood? If he didn't fix the windshield on your car, when was the first time you told him you wanted him to fix the windshield on your car?
When we came back from after I realized it was broken. And he said he didn't break it.
So, did you sue him?
No.
So you waited until this?
Yes.
Good. Goodbye on the counterclaim. You owe him $2,825 so he can fix his driveway and he can fix his cesspool. You're 28 years old. You're supposed to be a responsible human being. You have a wife. You have a child. You don't take a truck and drive it on somebody else's lawn. That's stupid. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. There you go, man.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
This is the type of individual we're dealing with a potato chip clip up his nose. We have that type of relationship. The kid's a clown. Grizzly Adams over here could use a cesspool. Him and his beard.
Smells terrible.
Well, look at him. You can imagine what the smell is
I called
like.
him up, and he didn't want to hear nothing. He said, I did you a favor. If you thought it was such a favor, you should have paid for it.
The favor was you didn't fall in it.
You didn't get a guarantee, sir, that you were going to meet Cinderella?
He hired a dating service to find the perfect mate, but didn't like the product. Together Dating Service, represented by Marcia Engel. He claims none of the dates were satisfactory, and he wants a refund.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Judges, number 424. No, Judge, sometimes you just don't listen. This is number 424 on the calendar in the matter of Ginnitz versus Together. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Your last name isn't Together.
No, Marcia Engel.
Engel?
Engel.
And you have a dating service?
I work for a dating service.
You own it?
No, I don't.
Do you have the power to appear here on behalf of the owner?
Yes, I do.
You were interested in meeting some ladies.
Yes. Together contacted me by telephone and left me a message on my answer machine.
How did they contact you?
In the past, I had filled out a thing that they have if you're interested in possibly joining a dating service. It was like a few years earlier, and I never did join Together. But evidently, they recalled after a couple years looking for new clients, I suppose.
Okay.
So they called, and they left me a message wondering if I'd be interested. And like I said, left a message on my answer machine. I called back, and I says, sure. I talked to some gentleman, which I don't know what his name was, and I set up an appointment. So I went down there probably within a few days or weeks' time, and I met this woman named Gail. That's who they had me. She basically told me what the structure of Together was all about, how it worked. We sat down. I probably stayed there, I would imagine, if I remember, a couple hours. They really get personal into your business. They want to know who you are, what kind of money you make, do you really work. And also they have you fill out a form asking you what particulars are you looking for in a person, whether it be age, looks, background.
Do you have a copy of that form?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. That actual form, I don't. I went up to the office and I asked if I could get that particular form that I filled out, and they told me I'd have to make an appointment for during the week.
Let me see a copy of the form you filled out, please. Anyway, how much did this cost you, sir?
$795.
That's what you paid them in total?
Yes.
Okay. It says he will date, age range, well, it says 30 to 40, and that's crossed out, but in parentheses it says 35. Height range, 5'3" to 6 feet? Is that
yeah,
what you
I probably did. I don't remember that part.
Slender. You don't care whether they're single, divorced, or widowed, right?
Well, no.
Marital status. You don't care.
They can't be married.
Single, divorced, or widowed.
Yeah.
And with kids, maybe.
Right.
Prefer a non-smoker, social drinker, Caucasian, education is open, profession is open, Christian, Catholic. So far?
Right. It didn't matter really
Okay.
the religion so much as Christian.
And the rest of it, sort of the soft stuff. Honest, caring, hard worker, romantic, easygoing, down to earth, open-minded, sense of humor.
Right. They asked both of us.
I'd like all those things too.
Right. Don't we now?
What?
We do, but you know that's just the basics of trying to match. You're not going to get all that. I realize.
Yeah,
that.
I know. Okay. And then it tells you, what's your wish list?
Well, it's something I paid for, basically.
Right. All right. Now, you're suing them for even more than the $795 because you said you had to take a lot of these ladies out on dates, I assume.
No, that's not true. I'm just suing for my court costs and me taking off work to file for court costs. I'm not asking for money back. And actually, I never really took the women out. We had like meetings. What it is you...
Okay. So the contract was $795. And now I'd like you to describe for me, sir, you did go out on some dates that they arranged for
Actually,
you.
they weren't really dates or meetings.
Meetings?
Yes.
All right.
It's a difference.
Meetings.
Okay.
Because you weren't going to spend anything unless you sort of like...
Well, that's how it works for both parties.
You go someplace,
right,
you meet,
exactly.
you look, you
yes.
take a look, and then
right,
you leave.
exactly. You feel each other out to understand what you're coming from, who you like.
Okay. And where do these meetings usually take place?
The first one, the first lady that I met her up in her hometown. I think it was up around Buffalo Grove, if I remember right.
Okay, and describe this lady to me.
I don't know what you mean by describe her.
Describe her physical
appearance.
physical
features. She was heavier than I wanted in a woman, and she had dark hair, and she was what I would, in my personal preference, not what I would even consider average looking, because I asked for somebody in this, like I said, something I paid for. I asked for something. I didn't say attractive. I said better tan average looking is what I stated on that thing.
Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
Exactly, and it's something.
How old?
I'm sorry.
How old?
How old? If I remember right, she was, I think, 38 or 39.
So that's within the age range.
It was.
Okay, and she was available. She was either single, widowed,
Right.
or divorced.
She was a nice person. We sat at a bar in this German tavern, and we had drinks, and we talked for a while, and she just wasn't my type at all.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
So I assume that after that date, you called back and said she wasn't my type.
Actually, they have a form that you fill out. Until you can get another date, you have to fill out like a fact finder form.
Okay, so then you filled out a form. Do you have a copy of that form?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it, please? This was after the first date.
Yes.
Okay. Well, this says she was friendly and down to earth. No attraction on my part. I like ladies a little slimmer. To me, she was what I consider average looking. I'm afraid to ask.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Well, here's the woman that you went out with who was 43. He told me he knew it would never work and got up and left. How embarrassing. He's the most impolite person I've ever met, and I feel very sorry for anyone who meets him.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tom Jeanette says Marcia Engel and Together Dating Service did not fulfill his dating needs, and he wants a refund. Marcia says the contract clearly states there are no refunds.
So tell me about the second date.
Okay, the second date, they call me, and it's a woman, which I didn't want to really meet anybody in her 40s at the time. Like I said, I had a preference on there. And I don't remember the woman's name, but I told her, I says, listen, you guys are not giving me what I want. And she said, oh, no, you won't be sorry. Oh, you got to go out with her. You really like her. So I said, okay, give me her phone number.
She was in her 40s.
Yeah, I don't
How old
remember.
are you?
I'm 43. I just turned 43.
How old was she?
How old was she? I don't remember. She was in maybe 43 or 44 at the time. I really don't remember. But I know she was in her 40s.
Okay, so this lady that you went out with the second time was about your age.
Okay, yes.
Right?
Right.
What was wrong with her?
What was wrong with her? She just was a total mismatch. Not at all anything that I was looking for. And I felt...
Tell me why.
Tell you why? Basically, she was, to me, very unattractive. And when I sat with her and talked with her, I didn't find we had that much in common at all.
Can I see? And you filled out a form after that?
Yes, there should have been a form.
Can I see the form? Well, this sort of says it all. Don't you have anybody in your files that takes care of their bodies by exercising? Do you exercise?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so that's your second date. And what happened the third date?
The third date, she sounded okay on the phone. I said, I'll give her a chance. They said she's really nice, so. Anyway, I meet her, and we're talking, and she just wasn't my type. She's a very nice person. But what shocked me is what she told me was...
What do you mean? I'll get to that in a second. You say a very nice person. How old was she?
I'm going to say 39. I'm not sure.
Okay. Nice looking?
Like you said, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and it wasn't what I was looking for. Okay?
Overweight?
Somewhat.
How much is somewhat?
I didn't gauge her. She wasn't what I was asking for. I was asking, like you read earlier, somebody slim and build, and all three women were not. Unfortunately, it's my preference. And
what did she do for a living?
Well, she was a cocktail waitress, I think she said, and I forgot what else she said. But that was one of her jobs.
Uh-huh. And so you were going to tell me what she said to you at this meeting.
Okay, at the meeting we were talking, basically, and she told me that she didn't even belong to Together anymore, that her membership had run out, but that Together was lacking women to supply to gentlemen within the group. So they would contact her every once in a while and send her out on a date. And she said, hey, why not? It's not costing me nothing. Now, I was kind of floored when she told me that, but she said, I didn't mind.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounds like she was honest.
Yeah.
Right? That's the first thing that you put down here. Honest. So you had 3 dates. Did you have any more dates?
No, they started calling with women in the 40 range again, and I said no, no, and then I just refused, and that's when we got into this matter here of filing for a small claims lawsuit.
Okay, go. I'm hearing your side.
Okay. As far as we're concerned, we have serviced him with women that were in accordance with what he was requesting, and the fact that he was not, you know, there was no chemistry between them and that he wasn't physically attracted wasn't any part of our agreement.
Mm-hmm. This last person that you arranged for a meeting with, she had, at the time, an expired contract with you?
Okay, that I'm not aware of, and I couldn't answer that. We only have active members.
Well, she said she wasn't an active member.
Okay.
She told him that. Does your organization ever contact people that aren't active members?
No, we don't. No, we don't.
So this honest lady was lying. This honest lady was lying.
I don't know what he's representing that she said.
I believe him when he said that that's what she told him. You signed a contract, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
And you seem as if you are an intelligent person.
Right.
Right? I was sort of surprised after having heard you when you said she made me feel comfortable enough to sign a contract without thoroughly looking it over.
Right. Basically.
It was all part of a con game.
Okay.
What kind of work do you do?
Okay, I'm a service advisor for an automobile dealership.
What does that mean, a service advisor?
I'm the first person you make contact with when you bring in a vehicle for repairs. I write down what your complaints are, and then I relay the information to the mechanics, and I deal with insurance companies, and I may have to call the customer back on costs.
So that you're a pretty educated person?
Right.
Well, then if you sign a contract, you're supposed to read it.
I understand that, but when I was talking with Gail, I even asked her, when we got to the final point where we're going to sign the contract, I asked her, I said, I guess I should read this? But she says just to save time, basically what it says in here is that you're not the basic axe murderer, and that we're not liable for anything you might do, and that you're a normal person kind of thing.
Let me ask you this question.
Yes,
somebody brings their car into your dealership, they sign a piece of paper, right?
Right.
It's a long agreement that they sign. They just come in, they drop their car off on their way to work. You have the clipboard here. Listen, I've been there a lot. They have a clipboard here, and they say, you drop your car off, could you sign here, please? Right?
Yes.
They sign over there. How many people that sign over there, sir, read what they're signing?
Right.
How many?
Probably not most of them.
Right. Now, if one of those people that came into your car repair service center said, I didn't read it, you know, I was in a rush, I was going to work.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It's not a con game, sir, it's business. You didn't get a guarantee, sir, that you were going to meet Cinderella.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tom Jeanetts wants Marcia Engel and Together Dating Service to refund his money. He says he didn't have one satisfying date.
And what I'm saying to you, sir, is I know you were disappointed, but you signed a contract, and your contract clearly says, can't read it without my glasses, it says the client agrees that upon receipt of the client's first referral, shall not be entitled to any refund. That's what it says.
It does say that, but what was the con game all about with Gail telling me that, yes, don't worry about it, we have all kinds of nice women for you to meet and things, women that you're looking for. You know,
it's not a con game, sir, it's business. They say they have a lot of nice women. You say 2 of the 3 women that you went out with were very nice people that you just had no chemistry with. Well, you sat and talked to them, they were nice, one of them was nice and honest. You know, they didn't look like Quasimodo. You know, they may have not been your exact type.
Right, but like I said, it's something I paid for, and they weren't supplying.
You weren't satisfied. You didn't get a guarantee, sir, that you were going to meet.
But they
you were going to meet Cinderella.
It's not the Cinderella. It's not even a Cinderella factor. I have a form in there that says that they will try to get it better for you each time. We're gonna justify. We're gonna modify this for you, and it's not. There's no thought process to it.
I'm not sure there's no thought process. You have certain things that you want. That's what happens when you use a dating service.
Right.
You have comments on the women that he went out with?
I thought they were all very compatible. We matched by...
No, comments from the women.
Oh,
Right? He filled
yes,
out these
we do.
forms.
We do.
He filled out these forms.
Yes,
so
we
I'd
do.
like to see the forms that they filled out. I assume that you charge the women the same thing?
There's different memberships, so the pricing is based on the type of membership that they buy.
What do you mean different memberships? You pay one price, you get ugly
For-
people, you get good.
based
One
on
price,
the
you get
number
better.
of referrals that you're purchasing.
Judge, that's
Well,
not...
just a second. That's a lot of double talk. Where does it say that here? In this contract? That you're contracting $795 for 9 referrals. You have other contracts say you're contracting for different amounts for different numbers of referrals? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
So that's what it is. Was that explained to you, sir?
It's not working out. The second date that I had, she got very upset. During the meeting, she brought up the subject of how much did you pay for the date? And we both signed up, I think it was the same weekend. And she paid a couple $100 more than me, and she had a fit because she called Marcia. And Marcia called me, and also on that date, she called me up telling me that I have to give these women a chance and date them and get to know them.
Let me see their
That's
comments.
my money I have to spend on dates, not theirs.
You just told me you didn't spend any money on dates.
No, if I had to, they're telling me I should take them out.
Well, you didn't, sir. You didn't take
No, I
them out.
didn't, but I thought that was wrong. They should be telling me what I have to do. It's a service I paid for.
Have you always been single?
No,
How long were you married?
14 years.
Well, here's the woman that you went out with who was 43. Around your age. She said, when I met him at the restaurant, he did not even give me time to sit down. He told me he knew it would never work and got up and left. How embarrassing. He was the most impolite person I have ever met, and I feel very sorry for anyone who meets him. Did you just get up and leave?
No, I sat there with her for about 10 minutes or so talking, and I did tell her, I said, this is not going to work. I shook her hand, and I said, good luck to you. I hope you have good luck with the service.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I do not find that there was any fraud on the part of the defendants. Their contract clearly states that this is a non-refundable fee. You took advantage of their service on 3 occasions. It's certainly not what you had wanted, but the first one that you went out with, who you said was a nice person, who was in the age category that you had requested, you didn't find her particularly attractive, but that doesn't mean somebody else might not.
Exactly.
So they fulfilled their part of the contract according to this contract when they sent you out on 1 referral. They gave you another referral that you said was also not bad, probably in your age category, and you weren't crazy about her either. The only one that you got up and walked out on was this 43-year-old lady.
And I didn't just get up and walk out on her.
Okay.
We sat there for a while.
Sir, you're old enough so that when you sign a contract, you're supposed to read it and understand it. You're not supposed to let anybody flim-flam you by saying to you, you don't have to read the contract. You're in a contract-oriented business, so you should know better. If it didn't work out this way, try meeting and mingling.
Yeah,
That's all. This
I
case is
find it's worked better.
Parties
all.
are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I'll state and I'll go to my deathbed saying that it's something I paid for, something I requested to save me money and time, and it wasn't supplied, and they just kind of throw what they want at them. That's my opinion. That's what I found. These are nice ladies. I don't know them personally, but if you're just talking about attractiveness, yes, they're attractive ladies.
Did that happen?
Yes.
That's bull.
Do you remember?
Good. Just a second. I can't wash your mouth out with soap, sir, but I certainly can take care of it financially. You owe her $3,692.61. That's the most expensive curse word you're ever going to say. Why would you give him your credit card?
I didn't give him my credit card. I purchased things for him on my credit card because we were in a relationship for a long time, and he said that he was going to pay me back.
Did you live together?
No.
So you dated?
Mm-hmm.
Over what period of time?
About 8 months.
And tell me about the first time that you started putting things on your credit card.
I guess we went to the mall, and he wanted to get, I think it was Sony PlayStation was the first thing that I got him.
What's a Sony PlayStation?
It's a video game system, and I got that for him because he said he really wanted it, and he said, you know, he couldn't come up with all the money at one time, so if I put it on my credit card, he could come up with the monthly payments.
Mr. Lunzinski, does that sound familiar to you?
No, Your Honor.
You remember this video game?
I never asked for anything. They were gifts.
Tell me about being at the mall, sir.
I went to the mall. She surprised me, talking about she wasn't going to tell me anything what we were going to do at the mall. But, you know, she had all that inside of her, what she wanted to, you know, buy me. So we went out. She bought me a Sony PlayStation. She took it in her responsibility to where she wanted to go out, you know. I mean, they're gifts. I didn't ask her to buy them. She knew that I wanted them.
I just asked you about one thing, sir, and you go and give me a whole song and dance. You ever hear the expression, "Me think the gentleman protests too much"? Did you ever hear that? Charles Schultz didn't say that. What next, madam?
The car, my car. I was out of town on a business trip with my father, and my car was parked at his house. And I did mention that I did want to sell my car, but I needed to get at least $900 for it because I still owed that money on it. So I guess someone was driving by his house and said that they wanted to buy it, and so Lance sold the car to this guy that I didn't even know for, he said $1,000. So I said, okay, that's fine, you know, I'll do everything when I get back. So
what happened?
Nothing happened with that. I kept calling him, and the guy that bought the car changed.
How could he buy a car without you signing over your certificate? How could somebody buy a car without you signing over the certificate of title?
I don't know.
Where's the certificate of title for your car?
It wasn't in my name because I was going to get the title when I finished paying it off. So I have.
Whose name was it in?
In the person I bought it from, Dolores.
So the car wasn't in your name?
Right, because I needed to finish paying it off.
How did you sell a car that belonged to Dolores?
Well, if I can say one thing.
No. Answer my question.
How did I sell a car?
How do you sell a car to somebody that
No, that's a good
belonged
question. That's something that, Your Honor, I haven't figured out for the last 4 months. You know, the guy wanted to buy the car. He came to look at the car. I got a hold of her. She wanted to sell the car. And the guy was supposed to give me $600, which I couldn't get $600 for the car. So the car had so many problems, you know, even though, I mean, I did something.
How do you sell a car without a certificate of title? You mean he just gave you money and he took the car? How's he going to register a car without a certificate of title?
I don't know, less paperwork is in the car, Your Honor.
It has to be signed, sir.
Yeah, I know, Your Honor.
Madam, go to the police.
I'm in the process of doing that.
Go to the police. Don't tell me about this car. I think you two people are both whacked up. I really do. Something suggests to me that you're both a little off. You go to the police, and you have the police get the car back. Did you get any money for it?
Didn't you get any money for the car?
What word didn't you understand, sir?
Yeah, I got money, and I got money from the guy that bought the car, and I handed her $400. That's the only amount that he gave me that was affordable for him, even though he had to pay $600, which he was supposed to pay $200 more. And next thing you know, the car's in his name. And I'm not God. I don't know how he did that.
Did he give you
I don't have a crystal ball.
Just a minute. Did he give you any money?
He gave me $400. And then I gave it back to him.
What?
Then I let him borrow it.
Borrow it?
When did you let him borrow it?
I'm not sure. It was for car payments and groceries and stuff that he wanted because he said he was going to pay me back. You know, I admit that I was an idiot, and I know this.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You would throw temper tantrums in the mall, and I was scared of you, so I bought those things for you.
Oh, different story.
And later today,
It's not her fault that your father violated his parole and served 6 months. She doesn't have to support you, sir. She's got enough trouble of her own.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 20-year-old Emily Sievertson says her ex-boyfriend, 26-year-old Lance Lunzinski, owes her money he borrowed before they broke up. Lance says the money was a gift.
So far, the only thing that you told me you bought for him, madam, that he said he would repay was this Nintendo game or whatever else it is.
Yeah.
What
and
else did you buy?
Games, a shaver, clothes, shoes, and money for the car payment, groceries, and...
For him?
Yeah. He said he didn't have any money, so I was helping him out because we were in a relationship. I trusted him. I cared about him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Your Honor, we were in a relationship. We loved each other. We cared about each other. I didn't love her where she didn't think inside I loved her the way that I should have loved her. She loved me more. She gave way too much in a relationship. She gave way too fast. You know, I haven't got stuff like that since I was a little kid from my mom bringing me stuff like that.
That's
now I'm
because if
here.
I didn't get you things, you would throw a temper tantrum and you would either
That's
beat me
incorrect.
up or you left me stranded at the mall if I didn't buy you those boots.
No,
you
I
know?
don't think so.
You would throw temper tantrums in the mall and I was scared of you, so I bought those things for you.
Oh, different story. Listen to me, madam. It's coming clear to me. He used you.
I know.
He used you. But this is a court. In a court, there has to be a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you're really suing for is a breach of contract, that you had an oral contract with him, that you would allow him to make certain purchases on your credit card and he would pay the bills.
Right.
And he never made a payment on your credit card.
Yes, he did.
He did?
Yes, he
Oh,
total.
He did. Show me where he made a payment on your credit card.
I made quite a few of them, to be honest with you.
You did?
And it's something that I didn't have to do. It's just...
Oh,
You know?
now it's coming nice. This is easier because then I could do the right thing, even though I thought
I mean,
that I
it wasn't
wasn't
money
able
that
to.
I owed. You know, it was $75 to go get a concert ticket to Pink Floyd concert. They wanted to
Oh, good. Oh, right. And you did make certain payments, sir.
It wasn't even payments. It's something that I gave. That's what my heart wanted to do. You know? I mean, it's only money. It's only a piece of paper.
How much does he still owe on the credit cards?
He paid $300. What was the? It was
$3,900.
$39.92.61 minus $300, I guess.
Now that includes $1,500, over $1,500 in ATM cash advances to him.
Right.
What was that for?
For when he needed tires for his car, and I did give him my ATM card.
Just a sec. I have a hook to hang my robe on because he did make certain payments, which acknowledges the fact that they were loans.
Right.
Okay, so because he used you, there's no question about that. However, I wouldn't say anything to me if I were you, sir. You have to prove to me that there was an understanding, clear contract when he said to you, I'm taking out this money and I will pay you back. Did that happen?
Yes.
That's
$1,573. I can't wash your mouth out with soap, sir, but I certainly can take care of it financially. You owe her $3,692.61. That's the most expensive curse word you're ever going to say. That's all!
Parties are excused. Step out. The back door to your right.
I fell for his scam. He's been doing it a lot more longer than I have, and you know, I cared for him. I cared for the family, you know, and I had a good time with you guys.
It wasn't
but,
a scam.
You know,
it wasn't a scam.
And now the next case.
Parties on Mazer versus Woodbridge. Step forward.
21-year-old student Matthew Mazer says his father's former live-in girlfriend, Pamela Woodbridge, illegally evicted him after his father went to jail.
How old are you, Mr. Mazer?
21.
When did you turn 21?
April 30th.
Now, in May of this past year, you were living with the defendant, correct? And you were living there with your father.
Yes.
And your father and the defendant were engaged to be married or living together. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you doing with yourself in May, sir?
I was beginning to go to college at that time.
What do you mean beginning to go to college? Who begins to go to college in May?
No, I was going to go through summer courses.
That starts in June or July.
Well, registration's in May, though.
That's not a major effort, sir. That's not doing much going to register for school. It's not necessarily a full-time job. What were you doing with yourself in May?
Nothing at that time.
What were you doing in April?
Well, nothing at that time either, ma'am.
let's try March. What were you doing with yourself in March?
Nothing, preparing to go to school.
You mean getting into the thinking mode? Is that what you're trying to tell me, Mr. Mazur? All right. All this has a purpose, sir. You're suing the defendant because in May, according to both of you, your father got arrested, taken off to jail, leaving you living with a perfect stranger, right?
No, we lived together for 8 months prior to that.
8 months, a lifetime.
We were pretty close. Well, they went out for 2 years before that.
But you were living with them for 8 months.
Yeah.
And your father was, I assume, contributing to the household. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's a two-bedroom
Yes.
apartment.
Yes.
So after your father was arrested, you were still living there. You are suing her for $4,000. You say she illegally evicted you from the apartment, and she kept your furniture that you bought.
That's correct. It was bought for me by my father.
It was bought and for you. You better get, before you go to college, you better brush up on your English. It was bought for you by your father. Now, what did you expect her to do, Mr. Mazur, when the person who was contributing to half the rent, I assume, half the utilities, is hauled off to jail, leaving her with a total biological stranger to support? Because you're on your way preparing yourself for college. What'd you expect her to do?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I got steroid psychosis because they tried to put me in remission. So I went crazy, and David kind of came into my life, and I didn't know he was a con artist.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Matthew Mazur claims his father's former live-in girlfriend, Pamela Woodbridge, illegally evicted him.
Who are you?
I'm his father.
Terrific. Step up here. Mr. Mazur, how did you expect this lady to take care of business when you were arrested? What were you arrested for?
I wasn't actually arrested. I was taken into custody by the parole department based on some facts that the sheriff's department gave them, which
So
to
you were
date
on
they
parole?
never even filed on.
So you were taken into custody on parole violation.
Right.
Did you spend any time in jail, sir?
Yes, I did.
How much time?
6 months.
What arrangements did you make with the defendant to support the household while you were in jail?
None. It was paid for through the first of the following month, and I didn't anticipate staying in jail very long.
Okay. So she told you that you had to find another place to live because she needed a roommate who could afford to pay at least half the rent.
That's correct.
Sounds right to me.
He was on the lease.
Who put your name on the lease?
She did.
Did you put his name on the lease?
He's listed on the lease as a minor.
Let me ask you this question. How long were you living in this apartment?
I moved in on November 10th of 1996.
And when did he move in?
He moved in, I couldn't
At
put
the
him
same
on the
time.
lease. Right.
Shh. At the same time.
But I couldn't put him on the lease because David has been to prison 2 or 3 times for credit card fraud, and so his credit is ruined.
Now, this young man moved in with you later.
No, he did move in at the same time as
So
well.
you all moved into this apartment together?
Right.
Okay. Mr. Mazur, I assume you moved into this apartment and your arrangement was, because you told me that you did, that you were going to pay the expenses on the apartment. You paid the rent, you paid the utilities, correct? Right? That was your arrangement with this lady. Where had you lived before?
I had a house in Dana Point, and in 1995, I got multiple sclerosis, and my husband of 11 years divorced me. And anyway, to make a long story short, I got steroid psychosis because they tried to put me in remission. So I went crazy, and David kind of came into my life, and I didn't know he was a con artist. He has scammed me out of $180,000. And I have my credit report right here to show.
The question that I'm asking you, and that's all very interesting, is when you moved into this apartment, I assume your arrangement was, because you did it for some 6 months, that you would pay the bills.
Right, and I think
Oh, good. Now, that was the arrangement that you had with us. So then you get hauled off to jail for 6 months, leaving her with the apartment,
And
nobody
I had-
to pay the rent,
and
your
that's
son.
where you're wrong. I had $5,000 in cash with me at the time I was arrested.
So what did you do with
Which was to pay her attorney to fight for the custody of her children. That money was taken, and I have this document, was taken in by the Department of Corrections and mailed to me the following day to the jail. For what purpose, I don't know. But I did have...
Did you get $5,000 from him?
No, his parole officer told me that David did have, I think she said $4,000, and she asked him, did he want her to give it to me, and he said no.
Just a minute. Do you have any proof to show me, Mr. Mazur, that you provided the defendant with $5,000 in order to cover the expenses of this apartment while you were away?
Yes.
Don't show me a lot of papers there. Show me where you turned over the money to the defendant to cover the expenses of the apartment.
The apartment part was, here it is right here, $2,993.
Let me see it.
And the sheriff's department kept it. They said they could not give it to her because
Just a minute. So the answer is she didn't get it.
Yes.
So what are you showing me this baloney for? She didn't get it. So what you're telling me is I should take your good intentions into consideration.
No, she rented it, but what? The rent was paid to the end of the following month.
All right. She doesn't have to keep your son there not working. Now, furniture. You had furniture?
Well, David had gone out and bought a futon for Matthew on my credit card. Well, it may have been a joint credit card.
Right.
David was doing credit card roulette, basically.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He went out and bought a futon.
Right.
Is that the only piece of furniture that was bought specifically for Mr. Mazur Jr.?
Yes.
Okay. Now, there are other items. What other items, sir, do you say were bought by your father for you?
Not really any other furniture, just a couple tables and...
Tables? What
yeah,
tables?
just like end tables.
End tables? What end tables? Talk to me.
His mother took
What end tables?
They're just glass end tables, brass.
That your father bought for
brass
his
and glass.
20-year-old son?
No, those were mine when I brought them there.
Okay, so where are they?
His mother took them. She came and picked up his things.
Except the futon.
Exactly.
Which you paid for.
Which I sold.
Which you sold.
Right.
And which was on your credit card.
Yes, ma'am.
Or on a joint credit card.
Right.
Which he wasn't paying from jail.
Right.
Good.
Excuse me, the insurance was paying for it. When she came down with MS, the insurance picked up all the bills. She virtually had no bills, with the exception of the rent.
So just a minute. Why should she have any bills? That wasn't your arrangement. Mr. Mazur.
But there is an eviction process you go through in the state of California. You just don't throw somebody out and lock them out.
Where's his mother?
My mother, I can't live with her. She has cats, and I'm fatally allergic to them. So I can't live with my mother.
Your mother has cats, sir?
Yeah.
I have no more time. This lawsuit is nonsense. Case is dismissed. Who are you?
I was his girlfriend at the time, and he did have a job when he moved there.
I was invited by them to go to school. That's why I went there. And they didn't have the money at the time to pay for me to go to school.
Mr. Mazur, it's not her fault that your father violated his parole and served 6 months. She doesn't have to support you, sir. She's got enough trouble of her own.
That.
Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Out the back door to your
And
right.
on the next Judge Judy.
It was a cold thing what she did to me. She threw me on the streets knowing I had no place to go. I mean, it was a really hard thing for me to deal with. I had to come up with nothing. I mean, I had half my clothes, nothing else. That's all I had when she threw me on the streets.
I had to rent that room out because it's called survival.
साला रिलेशन में कोटर लेके भीख मांगते दोनों स्टेशन पे रैपर नहीं साला ते लोग बाबा सिर का पेशेंट है पापा पापा कर रहा है ये भी कोई टैलेंट है काला चोत अबे सुन मेरा बात तेरा गाना किसी को भी कभी लगता नहीं हार्ड और खुद का नाम फोकट में दे रखा है स्टीव अभी खुद के दम पे खड़ा नहीं और ले रहा है बीट कैसे होता है हिप हॉप जाके बाप से ते सीख वरना तेरे मुंह में डालेंगे हम 7 इंच का डीक खुद को रैपर कहता बेटा खुद के दम पे लीक अबे हिप हॉप के स्कूल में दे अभी भी ये वीक हाँ बाजी पूरी करके ये तो कमा रहे हैं फेम कभी खेल नहीं सकते असली रैपरों से ये तो गेम अबे किस तरह का छोटे यहाँ से मी तेरा नेम बेड़ा नहीं है तू कोई यहाँ एमिनेम मेरा गाना है सच्चाई, मेरा गाना नहीं डिस। भाई ये 7-10 श्रीकांत मिस, आई थिंक होगा वो तो तेरे पगली के घर पे, उसको खिला रहा होगा केला और किसमिस। ग्रुप में है जितने लड़के सारे लगे घटिया, तेरे गाने तो बचपन से मुझको लगते साला घटिया, और तू तो साला बचपन से साला बेड़ा घटिया। हम लोग 3 भाई ये साथ खड़ा कर देंगे खटिया, हिप हॉप की बातें मत कर, नहीं है तेरे बस का, अकेले में फारू बेटा तेरे जैसा 10 का, नहीं देता हिप हॉप में घुसने का कभी रास्ता, ते टट्टी है साला और टट्टी ही बसता। सुन मुझसे गिरना हो तो कॉल कर।
मेरा नया हेयर स्टाइल देखो अच्छा लग रहा होगा, मेरा सामने अभी की तरह पर बच्चा लग रहा होगा, बड़ा झज्जा लग रहा होगा जब गाना मेरा लाख बार। इज्जत से जीते हम नहीं करते मारधाड़, लेकिन कोई भी मतलब का हाथ जब लगाएगा तो उसका माँ का चौको बेटा जी नहीं पाएगा। गाड़ी की खाएगा हम प्लेन मंगाएगा, खाने का ठीक नहीं और आईफोन चमकाएगा। तेरा माँ का सकने का 1900, पकड़ना था मेरा 2400, गाना है रेडी मेरा 2400, तेरा बस्ती का लड़का 3400। यू नो बीच आई एम सर्टिफाइड अंडरग्राउंड आर्टिस्ट, झाड़ूरा पर लोग का मुंह में केरोसिन डाल के माचिस। बात मेरा कुछ तुमको समझ में आ रहा, स्कूल का लड़का खाली छोड़ी पटा रहा, मिलियंस में व्यूज नहीं फिर भी मचा रहा, हिप हॉप का गाना में लड़की नचा रहा, आडू आडू फोन करके हमको